Hello, I am here in beautiful Scoville Park in Oak Park with the wonderful Sandra Montes, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to be doing. It's back to school season. I've seen so many kids out at Thursday night out yesterday or enjoying ice cream, and it tells me that everyone is getting ready to go back to school. Of course, there's a lot of excitement with that, but also a little bit of anxiety, right? And the amazing Sandra is here to tell us how you can help with your kids' back to school anxiety. Now, a little bit before we go to Sandra and her 3 tips, she and I are runners together. That's how we met each other. Now, we've been, known each other for 4 years now? Wow. And last year, was it last year? Yeah, last year, she and I ran a relay race with 10 other wonderful women, all the way from Madison, Wisconsin to Chicago, Illinois. So we spent like 40 plus hours in a van together, and you get to know people pretty well when you run, and especially all those hours together. And she's pretty awesome, so I am so excited that she is a licensed therapist and is able to give you some incredible tips. Before the tips, again, Sandra is very scientific in her approach, which I love. Being an engineer, like science and what's the background and all of that is very important to me. So she is great about that, and she believes in walking therapy, and in fact her website is inmotioncounseling.com. So to help people encounter and combat depression, like how we all know what a big difference being in motion, really walking, exercise helps, and so she believes in that truly. So anyway, without further ado, let's go to Sandra with her 3 amazing tips about how you can help your child combat a little bit of back-to-school anxiety. So here we go.
Well, thanks, Swati.
Thank you.
I think the first tip for parents out there is, number 1, to normalize whatever it is that your child is feeling. Listen, it is kind of nerve-wracking to go back to school, especially after you've been up and sleeping in and having all this fun.
Right.
It's okay for kids to feel a little nervous or anxious about going back to school. So parents, the first tip is to go ahead and acknowledge that, validate that, normalize that. Because if you say, no, don't feel that way, you shouldn't feel that way, stop, it just creates other more negative feelings. And so normalize that, because it is. I mean, parents, think about when you have to start something new, like a new job. It's definitely something that's
so
nerve-wracking.
Yep, very true.
Normalize that.
So number 1, normalize, yeah?
Yep. The second tip is finding ways to problem solve. And so I would always ask children, like, what is it that you need from me to help you with this? Kids are really insightful. They know what they need. They might tell you, maybe can you walk me to school that day?
Right.
Maybe I can walk with somebody else in the neighborhood. Maybe there's another adult in the building that I can count on. Things like that. If they can't come up with something, parents, that's okay too. You can remind them of, like, what happened in the past when you started something new. Like last year when you started camp, or when we moved, or when we started this new church, like what kind of things help them to kind of remind them of past successes and past coping skills.
Exactly.
And if that doesn't work, then parents, we always can go back to our basic praise and reward, which may be doing a nice special lunch, maybe putting a card in a backpack.
Something for them to look forward to. Right.
A transitional item, whether it's a locket, a special pen, a special rock, a special pencil, something that's going to remind them of feelings of safety.
Excellent.
And the last actual tip is for parents. So parents, if you're feeling anxious and nervous about your child going back to school, your child's going to feel nervous about going back to school. So parents, my advice is to practice self-care, practice kind of relaxing and knowing that what you're doing with your child, is working. They can handle things. They have great coping skills. You've modeled how to handle these things. And even if you are feeling nervous about it, it's okay to tell your child, maybe that could be me, that I'm feeling this way. So parents, kind of figure out where those feelings are coming from you. But really, remember that you also have all the skills. You've been able to deal with this before. You got this. And If you notice that your child has more change in behaviors, struggling with sleep, struggling with appetite, just different changes for more than 2 weeks, then maybe that's when you might want to consider some professional help. So that could be talking with someone at the school, going to your primary care doctor, or seeking out the help of a professional counselor.
Absolutely, and that's a great point too. And Sandra has kindly offered 30-minute complimentary free sessions, so in case after about 2 weeks or even before, if you need the help and you feel like you need to speak to someone, she is a wonderful person and will be able to help. Her website, by the way, is inmotioncounseling.com. Email is info@inmotioncounseling.com, and her number is 708-613-7912. So, of course, do these wonderful tree trips, which, by the way, these tips are excellent just for real life, not even for just kids, right?
Right.
Like to do that in real estate. And so if these tips don't work and you do need professional help, please seek someone out. And otherwise, enjoy the start of a new school year, new beginnings, new achievements, new successes, right? And wonderful growth. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much, Sandra, for coming.
Swati.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.